our art is our self-care. Like, doing drag and, like, working on music.
Drag is more stressful than it is a stress reliever.
It has its stressful moments.
Welcome to Trashpop, digital universe, where you can be anybody in the world. You can live your life here on the internet. Be who you are, share a pic, baby, now you're set.
Hey everyone!
Hi!
I'm Priscilla Cybin.
And I'm Luna Soul.
And
this is Trashpop! Yes! Another video! Bet you all are gagged at this point. We haven't had as many videos come out in a while.
This is the gag of the season, bitch! We're here in the Bay Area. I've come out to visit Luna Soul.
About time.
And we are just doing so much fun stuff while I'm here. We are going to the beach, we are working on videos, we are working on our album, we're going out and checking the city. It's just a week of fucking pure fun and pleasure.
Which goes along with today's topic, which is self-care. Which is like literally our version of self-care, of doing videos.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So we're talking about self-care today, or in someone's case, the lack thereof.
Are you talking about me? Is that a shade? Are
no, it's a little bit. No,
I don't do self-care.
You know, everyone does self-care in their own way.
Yeah.
But it's a really important thing, especially in our society today where people are so busy and you're expected to do so much at your job.
Yeah.
And there's like not a lot of time for yourself. But it's so fucking important. So
I will say that I am guilty of like, I don't sleep as much as I should. I used to maybe get only 5 hours of sleep. And sometimes, I think one time, in the 48 hours, and maybe 72 hours, I maybe slept 8 hours before. Like, I'm just busy.
So,
what are some of the things that you do for self-care?
Thanks, girl. Thanks for asking. So, self-care for me means taking care of my body, first and foremost with, what I eat. So, I try to eat well every day. I don't always get there. And I like to drink tea. I love tea. I like taking one moment for myself a day, and even if that's just drinking a hot cup of tea and breathing,
taking in the moment,
and having that moment,
breathing in the universe.
Yeah, but just letting yourself have that one moment is a good way to start with self-care. If you feel like your self-care is maybe lacking or you're not really where you want to be with it right now.
One of the things that I like to do is smoke pot. That's a man. She coughs like a man.
And girl, why don't you tell everybody about your experience with anxiety and how medicating has helped you?
I recently, since the older that I'm getting, the more anxiety I think that I've been developing. I have not been a very anxious person. I worried a lot, but I never really got to the point where I was on full anxiety mode.
Yeah.
But just maybe 6 months ago, it just got to the point where it was just I wanted to cry for no reason. I was almost hyperventilating. And I'm just what the fuck? And so I had smoked weed in the past, but moving here, I stopped. And I'm maybe something happened. Maybe, I'm I don't know. I started smoking pot, and then my anxiety, that's cleared. As long as I don't have to smoke every day, but as long as I'm what's the word I'm looking for? Habitual? As long as I habitually do it, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because I have no worries at this point in my life.
And there's a lot of science and research coming out that shows
definitely it does help anxiety.
That cannabis can actually help anxiety.
It's a lot to do with CBD, because CBD is really good for anxiety. I don't really care about CBD. I don't really think CBD does anything for me. I've tried it. I think for me, honestly, it has to be the THC.
Okay.
I feel it just sticks to my anxiety receptors and just lets them be carefree and have a party.
I love that. And that's a really good way to practice self-care.
But don't let it become a crutch.
If it's right for you.
Yeah. Don't I've known people that they're oh, it helps me go to sleep. I'm no, you need it not to go to sleep. It doesn't help you sleep. You need it because that's the only thing that makes you go to sleep. It's basically falling onto a sleep aid. Or even if some people just use it as an excuse to be high all the time. I don't. The only time I smoke pot is when I want to relax.
Right.
And then I don't have anything to do. I don't go out high. I stay in my apartment. I'll smoke on my balcony. I'll come in here. I'll watch TV. I'll surf on my laptop.
Relax.
Yeah, I'm not the type of person that can just go out and get high.
That's definitely one way to do self-care.
Another way I do self-care is I get drunk all the time. Kidding. That's not self-care.
That is not
self-care.
We do not advocate that here at Trashpop.
I mean, it's okay to drink.
It is.
Just don't become an alcoholic.
That's the tea. That's
the true lesson 1. Don't be an alcoholic.
What would you say to one of our fans who hasn't really been practicing self-care, but kind of wants to start with something? Like, what could they do? Like,
first and foremost, the first self-care is hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
If you realize, like, this is a really good sign if you're falling into depression. If, like, you're starting to fall behind on your personal hygiene.
Right.
Like, if, like, you don't want to shower, you don't want to take care of yourself, that's when you should probably see, like, oh, I'm depressed.
Right.
So, like, the first thing to do for self-care, pamper yourself.
Yeah.
Go get a haircut.
Go and get, like, a really nice smelling shampoo or body wash.
Go get a facial.
Yeah.
Like, these are, like, facials aren't terribly expensive. I worked at Ulta for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can get a nice, decent facial for, like, $20.
Yeah. I think that's another important thing. There's maybe a misconception that self-care has to be expensive.
No, it doesn't.
But I think there are small things that you can do that are inexpensive, but they still show that you're caring about yourself.
Like, a lot of, like, self-care for me, I've actually just realized this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a shopper. That's, like, a self-care to me. It's a little bit of shopaholicness, but I've gotten control over that. But, like, just going out and buying myself something makes me feel so much better. Because I guess, like, when I was younger, that was, like, something we did. We, like, went out, we would go to the store, my mom would let us get something, and it just, like, made me happy. So, like, I think it's just, like, transcended that into, like, buying something makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And that's, like, a lot, like, I'll do that for self-care. I can't go very long without buying myself at least something special.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't, then I get kind of, like, I get very depressed about, like, not having something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of unhealthy, I guess, but...
I mean, it just depends if it's, like, excessive or not.
No, like, I will never go out of my way and, like...
If it becomes something that you have to do, like, every day, you, like, need to be buying something, then I think it's a problem. If it's, like, a once in a...
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Where you, like, that's...
I need at least one thing nice for myself.
Yeah, exactly. I just thought of something that I like to do. I love reading. Taking a night to read. And that's something that you can do for free by getting a library card.
I just recently got one. And, like, you know what? It's helped me. I got a book on music.
On music, that's right.
And now I'm learning more about music.
Yeah.
And it was free.
Yeah, I just thought of something that I do for self-care, too. Like, I write poetry. And
Smart.
Writing for me is self-care. And that goes with our discussions that we've had about how our art is our self-care. Like, doing drag and, like, working on music.
Drag is more stressful than it is a stress reliever.
It has its stressful moments. But
when you look good, that's when you, like, that's the self-care. That's the self-care.
When you're in the process of, like, writing a song and, like, making that song, like, that to me is self-care. You're putting out this art and this energy into the world. And, like, that feels really good by letting yourself have
Honestly,
that.
like, that's what I've discovered with, like, making this album is that, like, music is really, like... very therapeutic for me. It is very, like, taking that time for myself.
Yeah.
Because when I focus on music, the whole world is gone.
I know, girl.
Like, I can spend hours. I remember one time, like, I started doing a song and, like, 3 hours went by.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And it was just, I could not think of anything else.
When time just disappears and you're in that moment, that for me is, like, the best place to be as an artist. Mm-hmm. Where you really just feel pure and creative and, like, in love with your art.
It just makes me feel better.
And that's why I really like to think that everyone has some artistic potential.
Oh, definitely. I never thought I did.
You might not be the best drawer, you might not be the best writer, but everyone has some kind of artistic gift to give to the world.
Yeah, definitely, I agree with that.
And I think finding that is a really big part of self-care.
It's hard, because like I said, like it took me forever, and then we finally started doing music, and I finally found an amazing outlet for me.
And we talk about art a lot on this channel. We talk about art as therapy a lot. Like, that came up in another one of our videos that we were talking about. How art is always a good outlet for, like, depression, I think was the video that we were talking about.
Definitely. Like, I recommend that to anybody, honestly. If you have, like, any artistic, like, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. Inkling? Like, inclinations?
Yeah, inclinations.
Then, like, definitely do it. Like,
yeah.
At first, like, I read something online that totally made me feel better. It's like, your first drawing is going to be horrible. Your first song is going to be horrible. Mm-hmm. Your first audition is going to be horrible. Mm-hmm. But you know what? You have to go through it.
Yeah.
You have to fail in order. Like, if you're not always going to fail.
Right.
But, like, you have to do it to get better.
Yeah. I think, and try something new.
Oh, always. I'm always down for new.
Girl, did we ever think we were going to become musicians?
No, never.
But we tried something new.
And it worked.
We ended up loving it. And it gives us so much joy to write music and hear our music and share it with all of you. So, like, trying something new and letting yourself try something new is a gift to your soul. And everyone should do that for themselves.
Definitely.
That, to me, is the true nature of self-care. And, like, lastly, for me, another thing of self-care is, like, spending time in nature. Like, you wouldn't know it
take a
based off
hike.
of this. I look, like, very, like, you know, fake and, like, plastic surgery and everything. But I am such a nature girl at heart. And
She
I
really
love
is. You are.
love going for hikes. I love spending time near water. As a Pisces, Luna took me out to the beach yesterday.
Like, that's another thing.
And-
Take that moment.
Yes, we just sat in the sand, our feet in the sand, looking out into the ocean, and we just talked heart to heart for so long. And we both just felt our worries and stresses melt away.
Like, I felt like so recharged.
Yes.
Like, walking away, I remember us talking and we were just like, oh my god, like, I feel so much better.
Yes.
I'm getting my life,
We, like,
acne
went-
cured.
Walked in the tide pools, saw like little hermit crabs and all these tiny
dead crab
creatures.
too.
A dead crab.
Dead crab. Mr.
And-
Krabs.
It was just a nice moment to just recharge, especially as water signs. We love being near water.
Why do you think I moved to it?
So spending time in nature is really good. And if you think you like might not be a nature person, I would say just try it. Go out and just like listen. Look at the world. Look at the way nature exists, like in harmony with itself. Like everything has its place. And it's like, it just feels really good to be out in nature. And I would definitely recommend some nature therapy to people who feel like they're lacking in the self-care department.
Because it's always great to, when I go out in nature, at least, I always just feel like I absorb the energy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, it makes me feel so much better.
Yeah.
It makes you feel really close and one with the earth.
And you can let go some of that like
Mhm.
emotional heaviness.
It
that you
definitely
feel.
grounds you. It like brings you back. Because like, I live a lot up in my head.
Me too, girl.
So
Me
like,
too.
when I'm out in nature, it helps like bring me back down from space.
Right. I feel that too, girl. And I think that anyone can feel that. That's like a gift that we have as human beings, as creatures on this planet. We can always connect with nature. Even if that's just like starting a garden or having some house plants.
I definitely
Like-
need to start doing that.
There's like small things that you can do to connect to nature. In case you're somebody who lives in like a big city and you don't have access to nature, you can maybe start a little bit smaller.
Alright guys, I think that we're going to call that video quick. Like, we think we covered like all the topics we wanted to cover. Like,
Yeah.
self-care is so important. Recognize the signs that if you think that you are not doing well.
Mm-hmm.
That's like my number one thing with self-care. And like, once you start to realize you're not taking care of yourself, that's when something's wrong.
Oh, and you know what? If you have a special way that you like to practice self-care, comment below.
Let
I'd
us
love
know.
to hear that.
I'm always down for new things to try.
Yes, absolutely.
Because, like, yeah, as much as we tell you what we like, always tell us what you like. Because, girl, we love listening to
We
people.
love connecting
Yeah.
with people that watch our videos.
And with that,
I'm Priscilla Cybin.
and I'm Luna So, and
And
this is Cock Destroyers.
We're just a bunch of
Cock
cool destroyers, babe.
Alright, let's redo that.
It's Wednesday, a day of rest. But not for
Thursday.
me. It is Thursday, isn't it? It's Thursday.
Alright, and with that,
I'm Priscilla Cybin.
and I'm Luna So, and,
And
Trashpop's gonna make the world pop. Cock Destroyer! I have nothing to talk about. Cricket, cricket, cricket.